Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping right into heightened attention and focus.
Yeah.
We've gone through some, pretty interesting research to really get a handle on what this mental state is all about, our mission. Basically to give you a clear, insightful grasp of what it truly means.
Exactly. You hear attention and focus thrown around a lot.
All the time.
But the sources we looked at help us kind of get past the buzzwords, understand what's really going on underneath.
Okay, so let's unpack this a bit. What jumps out, for me anyway, is that heightened attention isn't just like generally paying more attention overall.
No, definitely not.
It feels more selective, like your brain is actively choosing what to lock onto.
That's a really key point. The research points to a deliberate allocation of your cognitive resources. It's less like just turning up the volume on everything.
Right.
And more like tuning into one specific radio station. Actively filtering out the static. And interestingly, the sources really emphasize the prefrontal cortex's role in that, in like actively suppressing the irrelevant stuff.
So it's an active process.
Yeah.
Blocking things out to zoom in, not just passively soaking things up.
Precisely.
And focus then.
Yeah.
That's about holding that zoom, right?
Yeah.
Keeping it sharp.
Exactly. Focus is the staying power. It's the sustained engagement after attention has picked its target, like keeping that mental spotlight steady. And what's fascinating, something the material really highlights, is that this isn't some fixed ability. It's dynamic. It can, fluctuate depending on what you're trying to do.
That makes sense. And building on that idea, that active selection, the research also talks about amplified processing. Like the stuff you are focused on gets processed more deeply.
Absolutely. It suggests an increased sensitivity, to the details and nuances within whatever information stream you've selected.
Okay.
Think about someone like really deep into reading a complex report. They're not just scanning words, they're actively parsing meaning, seeing connections, things they'd probably miss otherwise.
Right. Okay. So for someone listening, understanding this difference, the active selection part of attention and the sustained, deeper processing of focus, it gives a much better handle on it than just vaguely trying to pay attention more.
Totally. And recognizing these parts, it naturally leads to the question, how do we get better at it? Now, our sources today didn't lay out like specific exercises, but understanding that it involves active filtering and deeper processing, it suggests things, right? Like minimizing distractions, obviously.
Sure.
And consciously engaging with whatever you're focused on, really trying to promote that deeper processing.
Yeah, it makes you think about those times you get totally lost in something. Everything else just fades away.
Exactly.
That must be your brain doing that active selecting and intense focusing.
That's likely what's happening, yeah. And if you zoom out, think big picture. The ability to intentionally get into that state, it has huge implications. For learning stuff, tackling hard problems, being more productive, all sorts of things.
So wrapping this up, this deep dive really shows that heightened attention and focus isn't just about gritting your teeth and trying harder.
No, it's more nuanced.
It's this specific process, actively selecting information and then sustaining a deeper level of processing on that information.
Precisely. It's about the quality of your mental engagement, not just the quantity.
Right. Well said. On that note, here's something to chew on. Think about one specific area in your life right now. Where could deep people consciously working on this active selection and sustained focus, where could that make the biggest, most noticeable difference for you?
Good question.
Yeah, just something to consider. Where could that focused mental energy really pay off? Anyway, thanks for taking this deep dive with us.